Coach, what do you think happened in the third quarter tonight? That seemed like when the game kind of shifted around.
It did shift, and you know, we got into a game where that they were able to control the line of scrimmage, basically, particularly offensively. We couldn't get off the field, and then when we did force them into third down situations, they made plays to make the first down. The plays that they didn't, we were able to defend in the first half, and you know, it's we just couldn't get off the field, and then we took some shots offensively early. I think the couple 3-and-outs that we had, just looking back on it, we took shots on first down, and then couldn't stay on the field to keep our defense off. So that's a team effort. That's and give them credit because they control the line of scrimmage offensively, and then we couldn't stay on the field to help our defense in the third quarter. So it's both sides, which wasn't the case in the first half. And when you run 40-some plays in the first half and only come away with 10 points, that's an issue also. We were able to move the ball in the opening series, across midfield the first couple times, and we get no points out of that. We end up with 10 points in the first half and run 40-some plays. That's disappointing, but it's a combination of all those things. The time of possession, I think we were either even or controlled it in the first half, but didn't have the points to show for it. Or the defense was getting off the field and we were moving it, but it's a team effort, and that's what we talked about. We will talk about. We talked a little bit about that after the game.
One of your players said that guys were cramping up a lot. Is this team as conditioned as it needs to be right now?
I think there's a couple of things that go along with that, and we talk a lot about hydration. But we don't talk about it enough right now. I think this team is in really good condition, but I think there's another component that we have to pay special attention to, particularly with the low number of guys that we're playing right now in a game like this. So that's something that we certainly have looked into and just talked about really at the end of the game. It's about hydration.
How much did they take away Khalil's run versus how much was that just not your game plan?
No, I think that what we saw today is going to be a little bit different, but certainly they put together a blueprint with the way they play defense, with the edges and not really attacking the inside. I think once we got to some spread formations, instead of trying to get to the perimeter all the time. With those big guys, we were able to run it pretty effectively inside in the second half. And just because there's a plus and a minus to that. If people are going to play like that, we've got to get to some inside runs quicker that make the edges less effective. Because even if he's not running it, he's being effective as a blocker. And to be able to pull people out of the box, and then we've got to be able to take advantage of it like we did in the fourth quarter.
What did you think of Khalil's performance overall tonight?
We just talked about that on the radio. I said, I never ever talk about a quarterback's performance and then right after the game, because and until I get back and look at the video, there are a lot of things that go into that. Was he flushed? Was he able to set his feet? Did he make the right reads? Or are guys in the right, at the right depth? There's 10 other guys out there that are responsible for his success. And sometimes he's cleaning up some other mistakes too. So I'll be able to answer that probably Monday, a little bit better, Monday, Tuesday.
There were a lot of deep passes tonight. Was that game plan oriented, or did you just see that those guys looked to be open?
Yeah, some of them, and then we took some shots. Obviously we had a lot of personal fouls. A lot of pass interference calls because we felt like we could run by guys. We got some pretty quick, pretty fast guys and stretched the field a little bit. There's probably a couple more plays somebody asked me, and we left plays out there in the field But you know, I thought Sean Poindexter made some great plays and kept the pressure on to try to stretch the field and get some of those guys out of the box. And yeah, I mean, there's, like I said, you know, that's not an excuse. I think right off the bat, I can think of 2 situations in the third quarter where 3 and outs, maybe 3, that we took those shots on first down and we're off the field. And so that's something, you know, that's something that we didn't do in the fourth quarter and move the ball.
How would you assess the offensive line tonight?
You know, you look at statistically, you know, we can be better, you know, and there's a lot of young guys out there too. Starting freshman right tackle against an experienced defense, you know, and we were concerned about that coming out of the game, obviously. You know, those are our guys, and you know, there's the times we were able to move the football, and you know, the way we wanted to move it, and the times protection was good. It was just kind of hit and miss, you know, depending on what the scheme was and what it was, and just like we talked about in the locker room, you know, we got to learn from this, and you know, it's all is not lost. You know, we got a lot more football to play, and you know, you really don't know what the makeup and who your guys really are until your first game. And so, you know, as a team and as a coaching staff, you know, we got to address those things and play to our strengths and what you know, and make those kind of adjustments. And I think our guys will understand a little bit more about, you know, what football is, because we have a lot of young guys out there again tonight, and not a whole lot of depth in that offensive line to be able to switch people out.
You've been talking about the offensive line and how it was a challenge for you with BYU's defensive line. When that's happening, you know, anybody can sit here Monday morning with a quarterback, a coach play calling after they lose, but if that's the case, could a couple of more draw plays have helped, or would that not have made any difference?
Well, we draws and screens. We threw screens. We get tripped up a couple of times on screens, and we're about to get out, and we missed the block. So, you know, screens are one thing. I think if you look at defensively, what they're talking about, you know, for us, our screen game is part of that package, and you know, basically that once we had a couple of those that looked like they were going to get out or one man away, the rush kind of changed the rush itself. So yeah, you know, it's our running attack and our screen game varies based on that, and to help those guys. So you know, we've got a lot of different schemes that we can employ, but you know, they don't stay in the same defense every snap, and they did tonight.
What's your coaching philosophy for getting over a loss?
Well, it depends. Depends on your team. Depends on when and how and what happens. And you know, everyone's different. You know, it's just like we talked about today in our locker room. Just there's things that we're going to go to work and fix. You know, as a coaching staff and with players. And the key to that is to stay together as a team and understand, hey, look, you know, even if we had to come back there and won the game, we still got issues. And you know, we have to address those issues honestly, you know, as a coaching staff and honestly as a team, and then move forward. And the only way to do that is to not dwell on tonight, but to look at it tonight for what it really is, and then, you know, fix the issues starting tomorrow, and then be able to communicate those plans with our players and go back to work, because you know, we got a lot of football left, and you know, the only way that I know that you can do that is to stay together as a team. And everybody's going to have their opinions about what should have happened and what could have been done. But realistically, those don't matter unless you're part of this football team.
You mentioned
One last question.
You mentioned you don't know what you have until you play a game.
Yeah.
What did you learn about the team's response, especially when it started to fall behind in the third quarter?
Well, I think there's two parts to that. I think there's a response that it looked like it was going downhill fast in the third quarter. And then there was a response in the fourth quarter offensively and really as a team to get back into the game, to go for two and then have a chance to, either decide to go for an onside kick, you got 3 minutes to go in the game, and kick the ball deep and then try to pin them down there. So, there's two parts to that. I've been in situations where that third quarter continues into the fourth quarter as a team, and I didn't as a football team that didn't happen tonight because it turned into a one-score game with 3 minutes left to go in it. So you got to examine that, and I think that our guys have to be able to see that with everything that was going on. And in a bang play for 2 points, you're a field goal away from tying this thing up if we can get them stopped. So, there's two parts to that.
Was that a close call coaching decision to onside kick, not onside kick?
Yeah. I mean, you got 3 minutes, but you also had a couple timeouts left, right? So.
Was there a debate, or I'm sure you had the last call?
Debate in my mind? Yeah, in my mind it was. Yeah, just because. If we didn't have any timeouts left, that's a different situation, right? So, and particularly when if they're going to be an onside kick formation, you kick it deep, there's not going to be a return, the ball's at the 25, and you got 2 timeouts. So we waited to call a timeout on, what was the second down? And then, if we get them stopped on third down, they got to punt it. We get the ball back with 1 timeout left. So that's basically the decision that was made right there.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you, everyone.